Students, this is the take-home practice quiz help video for 8.1, 8.4 sample questions. Make sure you are writing down the date that you are watching this video, at the time you are watching it. It says find the area of a right triangle. Specifically, a right triangle is area equals one leg times the other leg over 2. So one leg, you just bunny hop it. That's one leg. And your other leg. There's a 4 there, leg times leg over 2. Really simple, that just reduces. And it's 6, and then watch your units, it's going to want units squared. Ta-da! So the difference between a regular triangle, which would be base times height, like this, over 2. In a right triangle, your base and your height are your legs. That's why the equation is leg times leg over 2. Circle has a center of O, radius of 2 feet. Central angle is 150. What is the area of the shaded region? We call that a sector. Leave your answer in terms of pi. That's what we call exact in class. Make sure you collect correct units on our units. Is right there. It's going to end up being feet squared. So remember, a sector area is a fraction of the area. So theta over 360 times pi radius squared. In this case, our theta is 150 degrees over 360. And our radius is 2 squared times 2. We're going to tack pi here at the end. Now you simply factor and reduce. Two goes into 36 18 times. I know both of these are divisible by 3. It's 5, 6. And you just keep reducing until you can't reduce any farther. And the 2 goes in here 3 times. Look, there's nothing else to reduce. So you leave it in fraction form. So my sector area here is going to be 5/3 pi, and I think our units were feet. Let's check here. Yes, feet. Feet squared. Exact terms means you leave it in fraction form. Leave it in fraction form. It says right here, a rectangle is removed from a right triangle to create a shadowed region. Find the area of the shaded region. So we're going to follow PET. PET hashtag. First we make a picture equation, and our picture equation says it was a right triangle. So to find the shaded region, that's going to be a right triangle minus a rectangle. And then that will get us our shaded region. just going to write the word shade. So that's pictures. Now we write our equations, pictures, equations. Area equals leg times leg over 2. Of course, this one is just going to be area equals length times width. So very slowly here, it's really important you actually do the tracing. One leg is super easy. Physically trace one leg. You can see one leg is going to be 8. Always physically trace everything. Never take that for granted. When you trace this, careful. What STEM students see is they see the 4 and the 3 and they say it's 7. But you would be wrong here. That's not 7. Watch very carefully. If you come this way, that's 4 from there to there. That's 3, then that's 3. So technically that's 4, 3, and 3, which means 4 plus 6, that's 10. So it's 8 times 10. Over 2. You can reduce that however you'd like. So my outer triangle here is going to be 40 cm squared. And we're simply going to take away this. We already have, that's 3 times 2. So that's 6 cm squared, which means my shaded region, of course, is going to be 40 minus 6, 34 cm squared. Pictures, equations, trace, numbers, pet hashtag. Says right here, a right triangle is removed from a rectangle. So in this case, we're starting with a rectangle. And we're going to follow PET again, pictures, equations, trace, numbers. And it's going to be a rectangle minus a right triangle. Area equals length times width. Here, area equals leg times leg over 2. Leg 1, technically. Leg 1 times leg 2 over 2. The right triangle is actually easier here because your one leg is going to be 3. Your other leg is going to be 4 over 2. And therefore this right triangle area is 6 meters squared. Rectangle, you think a rectangle is easy? It is. And it is length times width. So our length here is 7 times 5, 35 meters squared. Now, just in case they don't actually give you the length here, you could have found it using the Pythagorean theorem. Have 2 sides, need 3rd side. Pythag, but they were generous this time. So, of course, this is 29 meters squared for the shaded region. This is a rhombus, so right off the bat, all of those sides are equal. A to B is 10 meters. E to C is 6 meters. Find the area of the rhombus, of course, which is this entire thing. A rhombus area, you write your equation out, is one diagonal times the other diagonal over 2. Let's trace those. One diagonal is going to be, of course, in this case, going to be 12. If you trace it, that's 12, times your other diagonal, which at the moment we don't have, over 2. So obviously we need to do a little bit of footwork to get that one diagonal. So we're going to take this triangle, which is a right triangle, we're going to bring it over here. Call that X, squiggle. Have two sides, need third side, Pythag. So it's going to be 6 squared, X squared equals 10 squared. In this case, your X is going to equal the square root of 10 squared minus 6 squared. So this piece is going to be 8. That's 8. That's 8, which means now we have 16. Total area here. You can take the 12 or the 16, it doesn't matter. I'm going to take it into the 16, 8. So we do 12 times 8 in the margin here. (96 meters squared). So the trick to this problem is knowing that an area is diagonal times diagonal over 2, and knowing that you're going to have to use the Pythagorean theorem at some point to find a portion of those diagonals. Says the map of the city is shaped like a rectangle in a given below on a grid. In 2016, the city's population was 756,000 people. What is density? Density is kind of like percent probability. Density is the amount of something over, in this case, it's going to be total area. Usually it's related to area or volume. The amount of something over total area. Our something here is the people. So our amount of something is 756,000 folks, people, per, we're going to give density, the area here, how many people on average live per square kilometer. So if you look very closely, our length here, careful, that's 10, 20, 35. Going this way, 10, 20, 30, 40. (35 times 40). And we have 1,400 kilometers squared. And, excuse me, 1,400. Wrote that as 1,440. 1,400 kilometers squared. So density is, we're asking is how many people are there per square kilometer. I am going to cancel the zeros. So I have 7,560 over 14. I'm going to do this longhand here. We're going to divide both sides by 2. See what happens. Of course, that's 7. Now I'm going to take this and go 7 into 3730. Let's see if we can do that, which I'm pretty sure we can. 535, and this is 2307 goes in there 3 times. Oops, hang tight. 3 times. Ready? That's 23. 3 times 21. Bring the 2, 0. And 3 goes in there. 1, 2. Only twice. 14. I have a 6. Bring down a decimal. 0. 7 goes in there. And 7, 8. 56, 40, and it says right here, where does it want you to round to? Let's double check. Correct units, 76, 5,000. We got 540. And the way you express density, it's 540 people per kilometers squared. So that is a density expression.